Do you love it enough to use your life's time to take care of it properly for the Lord? If you don't love it enough, and you don't want to give your life to take care of it, then you don't need it, right? It's very simple. I like to be minimal. That's me. I like to, and I'm not at all as minimal as I would want to be, but I just can't handle a lot of stuff. Maybe you can. Maybe you have the time to dust all that stuff. I don't. And so the only question is this: do you love it enough to use your life to steward it for God? And I think that's a really applicable thing as the holidays are approaching us. You know, last night we made out our Christmas list for our family. And so I had like 3 things. And my husband was like, what else? I'm like, I don't want anything else. I don't want to have to clean it. Right? And so whatever it is, now I'm not saying we don't get stuff and we don't like stuff. Of course we do. But I'm just saying this. Those 2 general rules. And it all is different. The answer is different for your family. Our home should be a blessing to others. And we are a steward of our homes. So if we can't take care of it, maybe we shouldn't have it. And that's just a general principle that we can work into our lives. And I want to encourage, you just have to find what works for you there. You know, last year my grandma died. And so my mom was her only living child at that time. And so she got her house. My grandma was like 84. And you know how much stuff you can get. And all of a sudden, there's all this stuff in my mom's basement. And my mom was like, what do you want? She knows that makes me nervous. What do you want? Oh, I don't know. So you know what I had to do? I had to take pieces. I took 4 things from my grandma. I couldn't take anything else. Because we have to get this in our lives. Things are not people. And actually the things that people have owned are not the memory of the person either. They are the memory and the life that they have lived. So I took 3 things. I took 1 embroidered like table runner that my grandma had embroidered. Okay. And then you all know those, I love milk glass. So you guys know those chickens, I don't know what they were for, maybe a butter dish. They had that really wide dish at the bottom, and then on top sat a glass chicken. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? Yeah. She had 3. She had a milk glass one, she had a green one, and she had a clear one that had red on it. And that is what I think about when I think of my grandma's house. She had those sitting on top of her refrigerator. And that's what I wanted. There was so much of, there were couches, tables, there was huge amounts of furniture, there was all kinds of cool stuff. Neat stuff that, yeah, it was my grandma's, but there came a point where I had to say to myself, am I going to take care of this? Or am I going to box this up and never look at it and not be a blessing to me or to others? And so that's different for each of our lives, where we fall in that. But we have to know that we want our work to be a blessing to others and that we are a steward of it. And however it is that pans out for your family, okay? It's different for each of us. So whatever that is, we can remember those things. And then lastly, we work to be a blessing to other people. If you look in Proverbs 31, we're there. And it says in verse 20, she stretcheth out her hand to the poor, yea, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. I don't just work, and we don't just work, and we all know this. We don't do our work just to be my family blessed. As a lady, we want to reach out our hands and be a blessing to other people. Notice what it says in verse 20. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Do you know what that is a sign of? Right? Well, let me get my wallet. Can you hear me? My little muppet down there. So it's like this, right? My wallet. I do think I have a couple of those. She stretcheth out her hand to the poor. Just one hand. Stretching it out to the poor. So I have this and I'm gladly going to give it to you. She's willing to help other people. It's just with one hand. But notice what else it says. It says in the last part of that verse, she reacheth forth her hands to the needy. Notice the word there is hands. Where's my daughter? She's gonna, oh, my soul, Grace. I'm not gonna make you do anything, Grace. Watch this. Now here's my two hands. Sorry, this is so awkward. Here we go. She's sick. I'm gonna nurse her back to get health. Right? She loves this, right? And I'm taking care of her, right? With my what? With my hands, with my double hands. So, what can we do at different times in our life? We can help people in ways that we can help with our hand, being of assistance to them, making a meal for them, helping them with money, however that is. But we can also be a blessing to people with our hands. All the things that a woman's hands can do, taking care of people, loving people, helping people, we do those at times in our life. And that's what the Lord wants us to do. He wants us to do these things for other people. And so I want to encourage you in this, that we work for others, we work for the Lord, and we use our hands to be a blessing to those around us. And I want, as we stroll through life this week, I want you to think, and is what I'm doing with my hands right now being a blessing to other people? If it is, that's a wonderful thing. And so we have to show compassion. We have to reach out to other people. I want to say this, and then we'll be done with this little particular section. She reaches out her hands, it says this, and I should have mentioned this earlier, to the needy. Don't neglect certain groups of people. So there are people in nursing homes that need a blessing. There are people that are sick that need a blessing. There are people that have to stay at home all the time that need a blessing. There are moms with sick children that they feel like they've been in their house for years that need a blessing. And so we have to be careful to ask the Lord who He wants us that day to not be afraid to roll up our sleeves and help that person going through that, to not neglect people. If you'll turn to Psalm 90, please. Psalm 90. Psalm 90 is one of my favorite chapters in the Bible. I love it, and I especially love this verse in verse 17. It says this, "And let the beauty of the Lord our God be upon us, and establish thou the work of our hands upon us. Yea, the work of our hands establish thou it." We want our hands to build something profitable. I'm not talking about in the world's eyes, but I'm talking about in God's eyes. And so we reach out our hands to other people. I want to share this. If you turn to Luke chapter 10, please. Luke chapter 10. I want to share this today because it was such a blessing to me at such a difficult time of my life. Luke chapter 10, verse 38 is where we'll be, but this is what I want to share first in regards to my hands. When I think of my hands, this is what I think of because of how it helps me. And I don't even remember if I shared this last week. I could not remember when I was studying. Proverbs 14, verse 1 says this, "A wise woman buildeth her house, but the foolish plucketh it down with her hands." I probably shared this, and I apologize if I did. I just couldn't remember it. So I was going through a really troublesome time. Did I tell you guys this? And I had to get some counsel. And I got some counsel from a pastor who lives far away. And I was just on the edge of destruction. I'll just be honest with you. And he was doing his best of talking me off that ledge, per se. That's just a little quote that he used. He was trying to bring my mind back to thinking correctly. And so this is what he told me to do. And you might think, well, that's stupid. Honestly, it helped save my life. I really do mean that. He said, you need to stop and you need to get up and go do something for your family. He said, go scrub your refrigerator. Seriously. Go cook them dinner. Seriously. Go wash. Seriously. That's what you're telling me to do. My mind is crazy out of control, and you're telling me to go do something with my hands. He said, when we obey God, does he not help us? So go build your house. And that's what I did. In the midst of all of my craziness in my head, I went and I still remember it. I just scrubbed my refrigerator. Scrub, scrub, scrub. You know what it did? It eventually took my mind off of everything else. So when I followed God with my hands, my thoughts soon followed suit. And so I busied myself blessing my family. And I want to encourage you in that. I'm not talking about trying to not handle the ultimate problem, because